Tech for Seniors, AI in 2023, NightCafe, Stable Diffusion, and Fast GPT. I'm Hewie Poplock. This is part 2 of a series in AI in 2023. In this session, we will be discussing 3 AI-powered applications, 1 chatbot and 2 image generators. The chatbot we will be discussing is called Fast GPT, which is a tool that helps computers write stories and articles. It can do this by using a special type of computer program called GPT models. Fast GPT makes it easier for computers to write stories and articles faster and with less resources, and it costs less. The 2 image generators we will be looking at are NightCafe and Stable Diffusion. NightCafe is an AI art generator that allows users to create amazing artworks in seconds and share them with the community. Stable Diffusion is a generative model that can generate high-quality images from textual descriptions. FastGPT is a Python library that can be used to generate text using GPT models. It's based on transformers and Onyx runtime and can use Onyx runtime quantized transformers GPT models for text generation tasks. It can improve inference speed and reduce resource costs. Modern large language models are powerful but often slow to use and lack information about current events. FastGPT is a proof of concept built to answer the question, what is the fastest possible AI answering engine that runs a full search engine underneath? Typically, FastGPT will start outputting answers in less than 900 milliseconds. FastGPT is best used to retrieve a general topic summary from the web. The processing is optimized for speed, not necessarily the maximum possible accuracy, which would require more processing time. And it's made by Kagi Search. NightCafe and Stable Diffusion are both computer programs that can create pictures that look like they were made by a person. They use something called artificial intelligence to do this. It's like having a robot that can paint or draw pictures. Artificial intelligence, AI, is when computers can do things that normally require human intelligence, like seeing, hearing, and thinking. AI can be used for many things like playing games, driving cars, and even making art. AI art is when computers use AI to make pictures or music that look or sound like they were made by a person. Stable Diffusion is a new way of making these pictures that is easier to use than the old way. It's like having a new kind of paintbrush that makes it easier to paint. The old way was called Latent Diffusion Model, or LDM. Stable Diffusion is better because it can make pictures that look just as good as LDM, but without any hassle of setting it up to run locally. NightCafe is the name of the company that made these programs. They are a group of people who love art and technology and wanted to make it easier for people to create art using computers. They made NightCafe so that anyone can create beautiful art with just a few clicks of their mouse. But before I show you some examples, and I'm going to do that right after I say that this is not a training session for these AI apps. I'm only giving you a sample of what they can do. They are much more powerful than I will show. So let's get started. This is Fast GPT by Kagi. It's fast and it's free. Let's take a look at some examples of what we can get from Fast GPT. Our first example is, what is one UI? Click the answer, and there's the answer. One UI is Samsung's custom Android skin for its smartphones and tablets, and then it gives us some key points about it. That quickly. I did this one, and I was surprised at the answer that I got. The Poplocks in the mushroom industry in the Catskills. And Paul Poplock was my cousin, my first cousin, and he took over the mushroom farm from his father, my uncle, my father's brother, and he took it over from my grandfather. And here's an article about them that I have never seen before anywheres. And if I do a research and a search in any kind of the search engines and I just put in Poplock, I get all kinds of answers, but nothing about my family, or very seldom, mostly about a dance called the Poplock. So this gave me the answer immediately, and it was applicable to what I was looking for. Let's try one more possibility here. And this actually took place this week, and we'll put this in here. My 95-year-old neighbor lost his 94-year-old wife this week. Write me a sympathy card. And it says, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your neighbor's wife. Here is a suggested sympathy card message. And it gives me a very nice message that I will use in the sympathy card that I will send to him and his family. So very nice, very nice. And that's Fast GPT by Kagi. Let's take a look at NightCafe. There's a lot to this program, and I haven't explored all of it. We'll explore a little of it together. So I don't know what's going to turn out. We'll see when we're done with it. This is not a free website, but it kind of is. And I'll explain that. It works on a point system or a credit system, and there's so many credits that you use when you create your various art forms. There are ways to get free credits and build that up. Right now, I have 260 credits, and I have a message up here. Let's take a look to see what that message is. Well, what it's saying is every day I get, if I just click on this, I will get 5 credits. So let's go ahead and click it. And when I come out of this screen, you'll see 265 credits. So it gave me 5 more credits. And there's other ways in which you can get free credits. And I've done most of them and increased my free credits, and I stay ahead of myself. And we'll see how that works in just a moment. So we'll go ahead and close this, and now you'll see that I have 265 credits plus. So we'll just create. No email, no credit card required. Bingo. There we go. There is a retro gas station on Mars. You can see there's some things over here. One of them being your text prompt. This is where you would type in. So let's take a look at my creations, some ones that I have created. We just created that, so it put it on my sheet. But these are some of examples of some of the ones that I have done. Some I have borrowed prompts. Some I just kind of made them up. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. There are a couple of problems with text to image. One of them is hands, and you'll notice in some of the pictures and that I will show you, there's 6 fingers on a hand or 4 fingers on a hand, including the thumb. It has trouble with words, and you'll see that it had trouble with the hands here. So I'm going to hit create. Comes back to this screen. A senior couple using a computer and a smartphone. And I'm not going to change anything here. I haven't experimented enough to know what happens when you do. You can use the same prompt and try different settings, so on. But let's go ahead and just click this and say create. I put a prompt in, it tells it to create. And there we go. You got 4 pictures, but you can look at each one. You notice here the hand, there's a problem there with the hand. Here's another one. You get some pretty interesting pictures, though. You can see the hand there, certainly a problem with it. And you'll notice now that I have 264 credits. That used 1 credit. and I got 4 pictures out of it. Let's try another one. Full body image of a poodle reading a book. The book is open and lying on the student's desk. The brown dog wears glasses with black frames. Let's see how that looks. And that's what it looked like. I like that one much better than the ones that it just did. So there might be some settings that I could adjust to have it come out a little bit better like that. You'll see all of these were all of my creations using various prompts. You can get 100 credits a month. And it's an unlimited, so you can get that for $5, between $5 and $6. So there's different ways in which you can get more credits if you're going to do a lot of these, a much better quality and more intricate. If you just want one image at a time, you don't use any credits. But if you want the 4 images, you use 1 credit. You want 9 images, you use 2 1/4, and if you want 16, it's 4 credits. So if you find one that looks pretty good, and there it is with the vintage car out in front. When I first started this research to do this presentation, I was looking at Stable Diffusion and thinking that it was this page that I'm going to show you now. However, the Stable Diffusion that I was really trying to show you it's part of the NightCafe, and they are using Stable Diffusion in the program. But let's take a look at this one. This is StableDiffusionWeb.com. We're going to scroll down to see what's on this page. There are some examples telling you how you can get some high quality images and some other interesting things about it. But there is a Stable Diffusion playground. And we put in our prompt here, and you'll see how quickly it works. Sometimes I was practicing with it just a little while ago, and it was going very fast, where other times it's taken me quite a while. It depends on how busy the server is. But we're going to put in the beautiful house with a lot of greenery and a vintage automobile in the driveway, and we're going to tell it to generate the image. You'll see it shows you how it's processing. You can kind of see the little gray bar going across, how quickly it goes, and we're done. And so it's showing one here with vintage cars, and here we are. It was that fast, and it's free. So that's another choice that you have to generate images from text. To summarize, we went over FastGPT, NightCafe, and Stable Diffusion Online. And there are the links to each of those. Just to show you that we have many more parts that we're going to do of this series, here is a quick list of some of the links that I have for us to take a look at. AI in 2023. Tonight we covered NightCafe, Stable Diffusion, and FastGPT. I'm Hewie Poplock.